CS2 and CSGO investing can be a very overwhelming place, so today we're breaking down what items and what resources you need to succeed. Now the first area is cases, and there's two different routes with cases. We have active duty cases and rare cases. Now focusing in on active duty cases, people really invest into these for the potential they hold. Although some of them have done well over the past year, you're mainly looking to get lucky with this area. As you can see with the Prisma 2 case, it went up 150% because it got moved out of the active duty pool and into the rare pool, and that's why some people invest into these, although there is a lot better options. SkinSwap is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free bonus for signing up with the first link in the description. They're the premier place for CSGO and Rust skins with a massive trading site and a top-of-the-line marketplace, offering you the most competitive rates out there and a massive 40% bonus when you're using that link in the description. Combine that with their top-of-the-line selling feature with many payout options and their trading feature legitimately taking you just about a minute, and there's no reason not to sign up with that first link in the description. Now, one of those better options are going to be the rare cases themselves. As you can see, over the past year, a lot of them have performed extremely well, upwards of 300-400% returns in just the past year. Now, I don't expect to see that same return over the next year because they're a lot more expensive now, but the truth is this is one of the safest investments you can do. We can look at unboxing numbers and see that a lot of these cases are consistently being unboxed, and that makes them a very strong investment because the biggest thing about rare cases is they make up only 1% of the drop pool. Every time you get dropped a case, there's only a 1% chance it's going to be a rare case, and even smaller that it's going to be that very specific rare case, considering there's a lot of cases in the rare drop pool. This makes rare cases the go-to for myself and many other people out there for the safest option for investing because we know exactly what they're going to do, and the odds that Valve actually change them is almost zero. Now, cases should make up part of your portfolio. However, we do need to pick up some more risky investments if we want to maximize our profit, and that's going to be in the major capsules. Now, major capsules have shown to be a one-of-a-kind investment when we look at the past year. We can look at Stockholm and see that it returned upwards of 900% over the past year, and there's definitely going to be a significant amount of profit in this area for the near future. Now, Paris is one that we're not exactly sure of yet, but we can look at the previous majors and see that a lot of them have performed very strongly. In fact, every single major capsule up until this point has been profitable over time. Now, with that being said, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to be profitable. A lot of them ended up being below market price, which is 25 cents USD, for a significant amount of time, and it's very possible that could happen again here with Paris. However, because these capsules are sold for only 25 cents, the accessibility of everyone pretty much is there. Everyone can go ahead and spend 25 cents to open up a capsule just because it's such a cheap price point compared to a case, which is going to cost you $2.50 for the key alone. That's over 10 times the price, not even including the price of the case. And therefore, the major capsules are one that I personally really like when we're holding over an extended period of time. And the truth is, when we're talking about risk diversification, you should have some of these in your portfolio. It doesn't have to make up a massive amount, but whether it's Paris, Antwerp, Rio, or Stockholm, you should probably have some major capsules just so you have that opportunity if a lot of them start to increase in price once again, like we've seen many times in the past. Now, talking about operation or exclusive items, the truth is they have a very strong potential, and some of that has already been capitalized on, but not all of it. We can look at the past operation collections and see that the majority of them are up quite significantly. This is because these collections are discontinued, meaning they will theoretically never return, although that's not guaranteed. But the truth is, a lot of them have seen this massive growth because the precedent that these are going to be a one-of-a-kind collection, we're not going to see them again in the future, and therefore the skins inside of them are limited. There's a hard cap, no more of them can be created, and that brings up a very strong opportunity for a lot of them to increase, especially considering a lot of the lower tier ones that are used for trade-ups are only going to go down in supply. However, you need to make sure the items you're investing into have demand. If we want to look at these stickers and graffitis that come along with these, we can see that some stickers end up being quite expensive while some of them end up being quite cheap. That's because we need to make sure that the items we're investing into have demand. If no one wants your item, why would anyone pay for your item? This is exactly why collections have been such a profitable endeavor from operations. We can see that because these are such a desirable item, people are willing to spend the money on them, whereas if we look at some stickers, they really haven't seen any growth in the same time period. Looking at discontinued items and cases is a great start, but we need to make sure they have demand or else we're going to see a very stagnant investment. Now, investing into agents is not something I personally do. Although they have seen pretty massive growth over the past year, the truth is the growth of the agents is almost directly connected to the growth of the player base of CSGO. Agents are not something that are going to be deleted or gotten rid of. You can't trade them up, and you can't really get rid of them other than someone leaving the game and leaving them in their inventory. Therefore, the growth is very similarly to what we see for the amount of players in the game, and I want to make sure you're aware of that before you invest into this specific area. Now, events are a major portion inside of CSGO and CS2 investing. If we talk about an operation, we saw previously during Riptide, active duty cases dropped about 40%, the rare cases dropped about 25 to 30%, and skins were all across the board dropping quite significantly. But it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be the best time to wait for an operation. If you've been waiting since Riptide ended, prices have gone absolutely ballistic since then. It's a very timed opportunity, and I think if you think one's right around the corner, it might be worth to wait in a short term, but don't wait forever until an operation comes out, because prices may have doubled by then, and even a 30% discount is not going to get you back to the prices that we're at right now. Now, a new case is something I would also throw under events, and we talked about it earlier when we saw the Prisma 2 case get moved from the active duty pool to the rare pool. This is why people invest into the active duty cases. With that being said, I don't think investing into the active duty cases is a strong play, because even though we saw this massive growth right away, people were still able to get in relatively cheap if they were just there when the update dropped or the hours afterwards. If you pay attention to CSGO and the CSGO investing scene, you're probably going to be pretty aware between 6 to 12 hours after something like this happens at the latest, and you can even then still buy in for a relatively cheap price point, because we know these cases are most likely going to continue on increasing with their very strong growth for the near future. Now, talking about skins, I've got a full video, but the gist of it is quite simple. You're going to want to look for collection skins in this example. Collection skins are very desirable because there's no more of them being created, and if you can find one that the demand is quite high in and the supply is not absolutely massive, it can turn out to be a very profitable endeavor. If we want to look at the light blue and the blue skins inside of collections, a lot of them have gone up extremely high over the past year, and the truth is it's probably not going to just stop today because you're watching this video. When we talk about case skins, it's not exactly the same story, because a lot of them are still being created quite heavily, and even though the demand may be quite high, it doesn't necessarily even out because there's so many of them being created. Now, talking about CSGO investing, there's a couple main resources I use which I think are going to be very useful for you. The first of which is CSGO Stocks. It's this website right here. It's one of the most commonly used ones in my videos because it's just that good. It tells you everything you need to know about the website. It's got the percentage increase and decrease, and it tells you whatever you need to know in a specific time period of your choosing. The second one is unboxing numbers. Unboxing numbers are such a very important part of investing into cases because we need to know which cases are in demand and which ones are being unboxed, and this website does it absolutely perfectly. It's someone that made from the CSGO Market Forum, and they've been doing it for a significant amount of time with very little error. The third one is the Esports Fire Indexes. Although they don't get too specific, it's a great way to see exactly what areas are increasing, which ones are decreasing, and just looking at general market trends without having to invest a ton of time. And the last one is CSROI.com, allowing you to search up whatever thing that you can open up inside of CSGO and seeing exactly what your expected return is going to be if you open up enough of them. It's a great resources to see which items might be in demand next because they're a little bit higher. But that's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.